I need your help, please subscribe my channel. Dad's hand landed across my face before the echo of it even faded through the ballroom. 200 guests froze mid-toast, forks suspended, smiles stuck in place. The music died. The air thickened. I didn't flinch. I just smiled, soft but steady, and whispered, "You just lost me." Then I turned away. Away from my father, the glittering chandeliers, my brother Nathan's wedding, and a family that had taught me loyalty was always conditional. That night marked the last time they saw me as their obedient son. It had started months earlier. When Nathan got engaged to Callie, I had congratulated him sincerely. She had been part of our lives for years, a family friend, almost like a sister. Or so I thought, until I realized she wasn't just marrying my brother. She was marrying into my life. The penthouse my parents had pressured me to hand over for Nathan and Callie wasn't a gift. It was my inheritance, the one tangible thing my late mother had left me in writing. But in my family, love and loyalty always carried fine print. Dad called it a family adjustment. Mom said it was the right thing to do. Nathan shrugged, calling it just a place. And Callie? She smiled, the kind of smile that never reaches the eyes. That night I didn't argue. I listened. Memorized. Betrayal rarely arrives screaming. Sometimes it slips in gently, with polite persuasion and signed documents. I began noticing patterns. Dad making temporary transfers, Mom urging me to trust family, Nathan suddenly taking over my projects at the firm. It wasn't about the penthouse. It was about control, reminding me I was replaceable. I stayed silent. Silence unsettles the guilty more than anger ever could. The night before the wedding, I opened my mother's old safe, the one they assumed I couldn't access. Inside, documents, trust papers, letters, and an updated will she'd signed just before her death. Everything, the penthouse, company shares, the trust fund, was legally mine. Dad had hidden the addendum, forged a new version, and quietly filed it after she passed. That's when I stopped being a son and became something else. For the next 3 weeks, I rewrote the story they tried to write for me. First, discreetly, I called my lawyer. We traced the forged signature, identified the notary, intimidated, then repentant once evidence emerged. Next, I moved funds strategically, small transfers at first. By the time they noticed, every major asset tied to me had been frozen under an independent audit. Third, I ensured the wedding would be unforgettable. So when Dad slapped me that night, in front of everyone, I didn't feel humiliation. I felt satisfaction. That slap was my cue. Cheek burning, smile intact, I let the whispers spread like wildfire. Nathan shifted uneasily. Callie touched her necklace, the one I recognized instantly. It wasn't new. It had belonged to my mother, the one she had promised me for my future wife. That's when I knew the timing was perfect. The following morning, while they were still recovering from hangovers and the headlines, the lawyers delivered their papers. Fraud, forgery, illegitimate property transfer. The penthouse was legally mine. Company shares frozen. Dad's role as majority shareholder suspended pending investigation. Nathan's wedding gift. A new house, repossessed through the audit. Even Callie's trust fund, tied to the family foundation, was seized for irregularities. In 48 hours their world collapsed and I didn't lift a finger in anger, only precision. A week later Dad called, the first time since the wedding. No yelling this time. He sounded smaller. "Son, we can fix this," he said. "You can't fix what you broke on purpose," I replied and hung up. Nathan texted one line. "You planned this, didn't you?" "No," I wrote back. "You did the day you took what wasn't yours." Revenge isn't always destruction. Sometimes it's balance, restoring weight to the side that was stolen. They had tried to corner me, humiliate me into submission. I had spent too many years watching how they moved, how greed disguised itself as love. They played family politics. I played patience. 6 months later, Dad resigned from the board. Nathan's marriage strains under whispers of scandal. Callie's smiles no longer reach her eyes. As for me, I kept the penthouse, not for attachment but as a reminder. Every night I stand by the window, gazing at the city lights, skyline shimmering like a promise I kept to myself. People think revenge is cold. It isn't. It's quiet. It's peaceful. Justice whispered in your own voice. Sometimes that's all you need to hear. That night I didn't lose my family. They lost me, the one person who knew exactly how to end their game.